At the bottom of the ocean, there is a lake that kills anything that touches it. 3,000 feet below the surface of the Gulf of Mexico, hidden in the pitch-black, crushing depth of the seafloor, lies a terrifying glitch in physics. It is a lake entirely underwater. It has a distinct sandy shoreline. It has a visible, glassy surface. It even has small waves rippling across the top. If you drove a multi-ton deep-sea submarine over the edge of this lake, it wouldn't sink. It would physically bounce, floating on top of the lake's surface exactly like a boat floats on the ocean above. But to the marine life that wanders down here in the freezing dark, this is not a lake. It is a biological death trap. If a fish or a crab swims just 1 inch below the surface of this water, it does not simply drown. It is subjected to immediate, violent, toxic shock. It dies in seconds. Welcome to the Cosmic Vault. Today we are opening the door to inner space, exploring the terrifying physics of underwater brine pools and the perfectly preserved graveyards they leave behind. How can a lake physically exist inside an ocean? This isn't magic, it is a terrifying extreme of chemistry. Millions of years ago, during the Jurassic period, the Gulf of Mexico was a shallow sea that completely dried up, leaving behind a massive, miles-thick layer of solid salt. As the ocean waters eventually returned, the immense crushing pressure of the sea buried that ancient salt beneath thick rock and sediment. Over eons, tectonic plates shifted and violently cracked the ocean floor. Seawater seeped down, mixed with the buried salt deposits, and bubbled back up to the crust, creating brine. Because this brine is up to 5 times saltier than normal ocean water, it is incredibly heavy. It refuses to mix. Instead, it sinks like liquid lead pooling into massive craters on the seafloor. It creates a distinct visible barrier where normal water ends and the heavy brine begins. But it didn't just absorb salt. As the brine bubbled up from deep inside the earth, it pulled massive amounts of dissolved methane gas and deadly hydrogen sulfide with it. This underwater lake contains absolutely zero oxygen. It is a completely anoxic, highly toxic chemical soup sitting dead and still in the dark. But the true horror of the brine pool isn't just what it's made of. It's what scientists found washed up on its shores. In the deep ocean, food is incredibly scarce. Crabs, isopods, and eels spend their entire lives blindly crawling across the freezing mud, scavenging for anything to survive. Occasionally, they stumble upon the edge of a brine pool. Blind and unaware, a crab will take a single step past the shoreline, plunging into the heavy liquid. Instantly, the extreme salt and hydrogen sulfide violently coat its gills. Stripped of oxygen, the creature goes into immediate toxic shock, paralyzing and suffocating it in a matter of seconds. But inside this lake, death does not mean decay. In a normal ocean environment, a dead crab would be eaten by scavengers or rot away within days. But inside the brine pool, the complete absence of oxygen means bacteria cannot decompose flesh. The massive concentration of salt physically pickles the creature. Its corpse is mummified, flawlessly, eternally preserved in the exact position it died in. When marine biologists sent robotic rovers down to map a specific pool in the Gulf of Mexico, they found the shoreline completely littered with a frozen graveyard of dead sea life. They officially named this anomaly the Jacuzzi of Despair. Yet, the universe is relentlessly adaptable. While the Brine pool is a graveyard for normal marine life, scientists discovered something impossible living on the shore. A thick, living ring of specialized mussels and extremophile bacteria completely surrounds the toxic lake. They don't use sunlight to survive. Through a process called chemosynthesis, they literally feed off the toxic methane and deadly hydrogen sulfide gas leaking from the pool. They have built an entire thriving alien ecosystem on the very edge of death. This is exactly why NASA and astrobiologists study these terrifying underwater lakes. If we ever find life hiding inside the dark, freezing subsurface oceans of Jupiter's moon Europa or Saturn's moon Enceladus, it won't look like us. It will look exactly like the creatures surviving in the absolute darkest, most toxic vaults of our own world. We don't always need to look up at the stars to find alien life. Sometimes we just need to dive deeper. Hit the subscribe button to join the Cosmic Vault, and click the video on your screen to explore the other terrifying anomalies hiding in the abyss. We will see you in the dark.